Okay, we're back with styling the menu. Um, and we're talking about this translate Y, translate X. Um, I think what this does, I was reading about it. You see how everything is blurry in the background? That's basically what we're getting. All right, we have a that is crazy. I don't even know if I like it. You see how it makes a circle around everything? That's what it's doing. So we might actually just get rid of that completely. But that's what that translate does. And you can look up translating. Oh, I don't think I showed you that. It was off the screen. Here we go. You see how this thing has a circle? It's in the form of a circle. That's what it's doing. We're going to probably just get rid of that. It's not necessary. So I'm going to leave it there for now. You can type it in. But what I mainly want to talk about today is, or this time, is this block of code right here. And this looks very complex, but it's really not. This gives that box gradient color, right? And we've chosen different colors. So what I will do is I will go over here to the web browser. Hopefully you can see this. And we're going to go to google.com and we're going to type in HTML gradient. And then go down here to probably the first one. It doesn't matter which one you use. There's many of them out there. But here is the ultimate CSS gradient generator. So you click there. It takes you to a website like this. I use this quite a bit. Let's grab that. And I think this is probably the one I grabbed. Something similar to this. And you can see what it's going to look like here. Kind of gives you an idea. You can change your colors. So you can go here and pick what color you want. See how it's changing over here as I move it around. Once you get it the way you like it to look, what it has done is generated CSS code to do that. And then you can grab this thing, you can copy it to your clipboard, just Control C, and then you can drop it right into your thing. That's what I did. Now I didn't write all this. This thing wrote it for me. It looks complex, but it's really not when you use this thing. What it's actually doing is giving a border. The border is all the way around, obviously. It's 1 pixel, it's solid, and it's this color. And then here's a WebKit. Now, you'll see the word WebKit quite often. What happens is different browsers handle things different ways. And that's the nightmare with HTML coding, because you have Microsoft Edge here, you got Firefox here, you have Google, you have Opera, you have Safari for the Apple side of things, and you have Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is the worst. It's horrible. It'll work everywhere else, but it won't work on Internet Explorer sometimes. Well, every one of them has a different set of code, you know. Like here's the code for just normal HTML5 web browser. Here's the code for, this would be probably things like Chrome, Internet, or Google Chrome. Here's the Firefox code, you see? And this is for radius, border radius. Let's see here. And it's the same, the attribute's the same, but like if you just typed in this one, well, you'd go to Mozilla and it wouldn't recognize WebKit. You have to put MOZ. And so there's a lot of extra code that goes into these things that makes no sense, but it has to be there. Alright, so then you have a background color. We're going to give it a background color in case your web browser doesn't recognize all this gradient business. We at least have a solid background color of our choosing in there. And then you start with background image, and you give it a gradient. And I'm not even going to explain all these things. You can look it up for yourself, but that's what the code generator generated for us. So we have the background image, and it's a WebKit. And then here we have linear gradient. So it gives us a gradient in case it doesn't understand linear. We at least have a gradient in there. But if our web browser does understand linear, then we have all of the linear ones for the different types of browsers right there. And then you have this filter thing that they put on there too for I think this is different for Internet Explorer. This is how Internet Explorer reads it. See how it's different from everybody else? They're a nightmare. Alright, so there you go. That's how you do the gradients. And it's simpler than it looks because all I did was copy this right into there. Now let's go to font family. Oh, and I wanted to explain here, colors. This is a color code. You say, well, where in the world do you get color codes? Good you asked. Let's go to another one and open up Google and just type in HTML colors. And you can do a color picker of some sort. Here, this is the one I think I use. Something like this. There's hundreds of them out there. But you can obviously choose your color. There's gazillions colors to choose from and shades and all that. And you can see it's building a code that has the hash tag there or the pound sign. And here's your code for that specific web color. And then you have all your red, green, and blue, your hues, and then who knows what those are. But this is the number that you're looking for. And it always needs to be preceded by a pound sign. So here's your pound, and there's that color. If we type in that, let's see here, type in 7EB9DO. Press enter. Oh. Some of you can enter in the code and then it'll tell you what it is. Maybe you have to do that up there. Let's copy that. Oh. No. There it is. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. But there's that color. That's crazy. It's a blue color. That's a problem. That's because I originally had it blue. Let's turn it to white or green then, somehow. Some type of green. Give it a darker green. That's probably better. This website had a blue, what do you call it? Blue theme to it before. And I went and changed all those colors, but I think that was one I forgot the color. It never gets shown because the web browser always knows the gradients. But anyways, so there you go. Now I'll go down to font family. I have chosen a font family for this. But honestly, we've already given a font family for the entire page, and I just want to inherit that. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this font family line. If you wanted a different font family for this div, you could put one in there. And then remember up here we had a Z index of 1. I want this box on top of that one, so I'm putting a Z index of 2. It's going to be on top of the background. And then we have opacity of 1. That gives us, so you can see through it just a little bit to the background. And then WebKit box shadow. So here's my box shadow, and this is another one of kind of like this block of code. This is generated. You can do it yourself, but you can also generate it here. So we type in HTML box shadow, and we'll just go down to a box shadow generator. And this is pretty cool. It's got some slide bars. Yes. So here's your box shadow. Here's an example of what it would look like. You can move it around, up and down. You can blur it out. Once you get it the way you like it, then it's built the code for you right here. And you just copy that into your CSS. Makes life so much easier. So we have a background. We have a shadow. Everything should be doing great. Let's go ahead and save this. Go back here and refresh. There we go. So we have our entire screen covered, and then we have this box right here in the middle, and the box is going to stay centered because remember we have that 50% left. It's going to stay 10% from the top no matter how far we go. That's the 10% from the top, and so we have it looking like we want it. Now what we're going to do is go up here to the very top. Remember we commented this line out right here, visibility hidden. When we load up the page, we don't want this to be showing, obviously. So we're going to go in here and we're going to say uncomment this line. And you notice, by the way, it went away from here because now it's all out here. Before we had the X and then the menu, and then we had the list, home, about us, laboratory. Why it says laboratory, I don't know. We'll have to change that. Services, supplies, and contact us. But we had all that right there. We're going to change that. I mean, when we put this code in, it took away from there and put it out here on top of everything where we want it. So now we're going to make it visibility hidden. And when we go bam, it's hidden. It's there, but you can't see it. And it doesn't make it won't show up unless we click here, and obviously that has to be done with I think it's JavaScript and we do that with. Alright, so that gets us down to the menu background in the menu, and it's all styled the way it should be. And next time we'll get on to the nav menu right there, this button. Alright, thank you.